Hey guys, it's KK, and this is my first layout using my January Gossamer Blue kit. So I'm starting out with this sheet of pattern paper that has those lovely foiled polka dot circles, and normally I would try to cut that into a few pieces and get a few layouts from it. But I decided that that is how I end up hoarding things and how I end up with things in my stash that I've had for years and I forget about them. So I just decided to use it for my background piece of paper, and I'm really glad that I did because I like the way the layout comes out. So I'm going to layer a couple of pieces of pattern paper to the right hand side of this layout, or I'm sorry, the left, and that's where I'm going to do like my photograph and everything, and then I'm just going to kind of work my way out. At this point, I just felt like I didn't have a lot of color, so I grabbed a scrap from my stash, and I'm just going to use that as another layer behind the photograph. And you can see that yellow paper back there, or to the right hand side. That's some pattern paper that came in the kit, and I used the B side of that and a piece of the white cardstock to mat the photograph. And that picture is from 2002, so it's a few years old, or quite a few, and that was part of my Scrappy Challenge this week that I'm doing with Ronnie Sue Scrapper and some other girls. I know that Ronnie's using an old photograph as well, so I'll make sure and link all the girls down below so you can check them out. Now at this point my camera got kind of out of focus, so I had to cut a lot out, but basically I've done just a couple of things. I've added that tag to the top of the photo, and I've also added that clip to the right hand side. I'm trying to add this little card here to the right hand side because that's where I want to place my title, but I didn't really feel like it kind of flowed seamlessly, so I thought that the washi would be a good thing to kind of bridge the gap, if you will. Now that clip, it adds some dimension, so it's just making it a little bit difficult to work with the picture. So I'm trying to like move it around, but at the end I end up just putting it aside and it comes back right where it started at the end of the layout. So now that I've got that down, I'm going ahead and looking at these epoxy stickers. I want to use that Feel the Love as the title. But when I start thinking about laying it down, I realized that I would have to try to fit it all on the card because I felt like there was this awkward space between the photo and the card with that pattern paper showing. So what I do is I just move that tag over just to kind of bridge that divide again. Now I'm just looking for something to try to fill in that little gap at the bottom of the tag in the picture, but I really didn't find anything. So what I decided to do is just come in and start working on my title. And I'm just talking about how I always like to start my letters on the edge of stuff, and I end up having to go over to the left a little bit. So at this point my camera was out of focus again, so I had to cut some of it out. But all I did here is to cover up that awkward gap between the tag and the picture. What I did is I punched a label out of some white cardstock, and I used some more of those epoxy stickers to layer on top of that. And I put down some hearts from that sticker sheet. The thing I really enjoy about these epoxy stickers is I feel like they're thin enough and they're light enough so that you can use a lot of them and it doesn't weigh your layout down or just look obnoxious. So I'm going to add some more washi up there at the top. And at this point I have these little arrows from that same epoxy sheet, and I'm just going to lay them down. I'm making an attempt to use up my embellishments in these stickers because I can use pattern paper up like nobody's business, but I have a really hard time ever using up embellishments, and I could probably count the times that I've ever honestly used a whole pack of anything. So I'm really trying to make an effort to use all of those little bits and bobs that they've sent so that way I can really feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of this kit. And I know that feeling is different for everyone because some people want to get a certain amount of pages done, or they want to use a certain amount of things from their kit. But for me, I just really want to use everything as much as I can and be happy with the pages that I make. And if I really get tired of something, I'm fortunate enough to have scrappy people in my life that I can pass it on to, so I don't feel guilty at all not using every single thing that I have. So anyway, this page is pretty much done with the addition of those enamel dots that I have going on at the right hand side. And so here are some close-up photos. Here's a picture of that label that I punched out right next to the title. And that little clip is so darling. And here's where the title is, and you can see where I added that little heart at the top. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and take care.